Hey, Tom, league-wide in week one, it was the worst week one for kickers in, I believe, 10 years. Do you think maybe the empty stadiums, not having fans behind the goalposts, that factored in, or do you think something else is in play there?
No, I don't think the empty stands did. I think personally it's in the preseason, those 4 games, you get your timing down with that holder and snapper, and we need those. We really do. And so guys missed about 20 to 25 reps.
Next up, Brandon.
Coach, we asked you a little bit about Sam in the preseason leading up, but then I think all of Broncos country got to see him on Monday. How much of an upgrade was he? I'm not asking to pick on Colby, but just to bring in a guy that's done it like that, for 7 years to see it here.
Really, I'll just speaking just on Sam, because I just want to kind of speak with what's here. I'm not trying to – that's just how I am. But Sam, he's been that way his whole career. As an Indy and I had Pat, we always looked up at Detroit, and we saw what that guy was doing because he's so talented. And now he's here in this building, and he played really, really well. We just hope it continues, hitting those edges and just being consistent. I think you guys have heard me say it before. Boring kickers and boring snappers that do great things every single play are what we're looking for.
Next up, Mike, please.
Yeah, Coach, Heinz Field, I think, has an infamous end zone as far as kicking for, that makes it difficult on place kickers. Is that still the case? And what do you do about that with your own kicker, Brandon McManus, going into that type of challenge?
I'll be honest with you, Mike. We don't even talk about it. We don't even think about it. I think it's just one of those things that's kind of a freaky thing. Every time I played there, the winds have been the same, both end zones. And I don't know why, quote-unquote, guys have missed, but we don't make it even a point. We just have him kick the same kick every single time he goes out there, whether it's a PAT or a 60-yard field goal in practice. And even in games, that's what we tell him to do, kick the same kick because he has so much ability.
Next up, Nick Codemeyer.
Hey, Tom, I'm just curious, obviously, a number of rookies on special teams who didn't get the chance in a preseason to fully go out there and see those plays all the way through to the end. What was your impression of some of the young guys that were getting their first taste of the NFL on your special teams units?
They played hard. They went out and played just as if it was a game. I thought that we really tried and did a good job of trying to simulate games. Coach did a nice job of getting us down into the stadium. So on special teams, we could cover full kicks, and those guys went out and played. Tuska had a tackle, and I thought that the young players played fast, and they didn't worry about what was in front of them. They just went and covered the ball. And then in the return game, we had a big mistake on a penalty, and we had a big mistake on catching the ball with Spence. But those are things that we have to get fixed. But I thought the young guys, to answer your question, played pretty well and didn't worry about a situation, just focused on their task, Nick.
Last two, Eric and then Zach.
Coach, wanted to ask you about Diontae's decision-making, both on that play and then what you thought of him overall. And then where does KJ stand in the return game?
Diontae made a bad play, catching that ball. But I think that also, Eric, you got to look at practice. You got to say to yourself, hey, as Tom put a 70-yard punt where he started on the 20 in practice and had to go back and catch it, we go back and catch everything in practice. So you got to put that on myself as a coach. I'm not one of those guys that's not going to – we got to put that real situation in. You don't let balls hit the ground in practice, and that's one of those where you got to let it hit the ground. So I'm not going to make an excuse for D. He won't make an excuse for that play. He's got to make that play. He's been in that situation before. But I got to put him in those situations more in practice. KJ has had a great week. I can't wait to see him play. I can't wait to see both of them play. I think they're great returners, and I think they'll go out and show that the rest of the season.
Last one, Zach.
Hey, Coach, we haven't talked to you since Brandon McManus signed his extension. How important and nice is it for you to have him here for another 4 years?
It's awesome. He's accountable. He's consistent. I think he's getting better and better. I think he's really getting into the top of his game right now. I've been around guys that have been around for 22, 24, 25 years. I think this is a guy that can get where Morton's been and get where Vinny's been. Because he did right now, what he's finally figured out is he's just hitting the same ball all the time. And he's got a great ball. His ball is all he needs to worry about. Doesn't need to worry about the wind. Doesn't need to worry about this, that, the other. I love his maturity. I love his leadership. I think he loves the Broncos, and I know he loves Denver. And that kind of carries over into our special teams room, that maturity and how much he cares about this organization and going out and winning.